Today we're going to talk about hiding emotions and when I kind of first found out that I was hiding them. For me, friends, I always thought it was normal to just say I'm fine even when I wasn't, to laugh when I wasn't really happy, to say everything's good. I got really good at doing that. That in a way was a mask that I was wearing. It was a thing I had to do to survive. It was a result of my upbringing, childhood conditioning in my home where feelings just weren't allowed, right? And as I go on this journey, I'm seeing there's also a component of emotional neglect, which brings me a lot of pain, but it gives me a lot of answers and kind of seeing why it is the way that I am, and I struggle with the things that I struggle. But there's childhood conditioning. In that specifically, as a man, we do have to navigate the toxic sides of the patriarchy. And some guys may hear the patriarchy and have your own opinions to it, but for me, friends, as a man, you are also a victim of this. My dad was a victim. He then passed it on to me. For him, it was his father as well. At some point, you have to kind of step away and do something different because you're just passing on so much pain all the time. And in this patriarchal system, we are also victims. It's not just women. It is also us. To be told to man up, to have these opinions of women, to feel like weakness is associated to emotions and anything with feelings, that is going to cultivate an outcome that we don't want. One that is disconnected from women, disconnected from our own peace. How are you going to find peace in your life if you don't even know what you feel, right? If you don't even connect to your emotions? Those are the things that I've been slowly realizing over time. And this whole thing's a journey, right? You take a slice out at a time. If you look at the whole thing all at once, it's very overwhelming. But for me, friends, I slowly over time realized I had to reconnect to my emotions, and I really didn't want to. It was the last thing I wanted to do. But I got so good at hiding my emotions, why would I want to approach life in any other way? Well, I had to, because it was the cost. There was a cost connected, attached to living life this way. Conducive to wearing a mask, right? Where that mask isn't helpful, right? Now I'm fine, everything's good. But then you slowly isolate. You get no friends. You struggle to actually form relationships with people, an intimate partner. Maybe you have repetitive pain points that happen over and over again in relationships. The thing with relationships, friends, we're going to continue to repeat the same exact shit in the new relationship we did in the past relationship. It is not the relationship you get. It is the one that you build. And if you never learn how to build a relationship, you will always struggle with relationships because it's the building process. And I have to tell you that, friends, because if it's not for you, you're going to realize you're going to love someone in your life, and it has to then be for them. But then it also then starts with you. It's a gift. It's a gift to go into this type of work. And if nothing else, friends, if you don't even see it as a gift, just realize the pain needs to stop at some point. I have to connect to my emotions at some point because this is just way too painful, way too lonely, way too isolating, and I can't bear this weight on my own anymore. And I need to cultivate a new environment, one that is conducive to better inner peace, better connection, better love. And that includes love for self. That's very important as well. Eventually, let's say you start this work because you want to do it for someone else, right? The pain point is too strong. You've been slapped too much. You've been beat down so much because you don't feel anything, right? You've been told you don't feel anything, you're so disconnected, and you want to change for someone. If that person's gone, friend, the end result is that you still changed for yourself. And that is still so beneficial in your life. You start to live life in a much lighter fashion with less weight. And a cost as well, friends, is realizing as you do this work, as you dive into trying to reconnect to your emotions, you realize how much weight you've been carrying. Cry is a release. I've been slowly, more recently, practicing with crying. I set myself up in the morning, wake up very early, meditate, try to clear my mind into a certain headspace. And in that headspace, I then play some piano music, some violin music, some screamo sometimes, something that's just gonna shake me up, right? And you guys know what I'm talking about. When there's a song that just makes you choke up a little bit, and then you connect to something. There's something there. A tear maybe falls down, maybe your eyes water. You are capable. Even if you really struggle with feeling, that right there is an indicator that you're capable. And I've always seen little signs like that, right, throughout life. I barely began this journey at 28 years old, maybe 27 and a half. I just turned 30. But friends, I had to experience pain. Pain was my motivator because I didn't want to experience the poor outcomes anymore. And I wanted to just feel something. I didn't want to be numb anymore. I didn't want to mask anymore. I got to a place where I was fed up and I realized not feeling, being lonely, being isolated, having people around me and not being close or having no one at all. Those are all indicators that something is going on, that something isn't right. And as I slowly began to work on myself, friends, I became connected to something, and I was then able to feel. I didn't feel as embarrassed to hide my emotions. I had people safe enough around me, right, in my new cultivated environment, that then I can share how I'm feeling, and they would understand, and they would empathize. In that, it really did feel like a muscle. Like if you guys go to the gym, which you guys probably do, it's like your first week in the gym. You don't really have much muscle built up, right? You get sore really quickly. Over time, it gets easier. Over time, that emotional muscle gets stronger. A fear I had of diving into this work, friends, was feeling like as I connect to my emotions, as I feel, as I get vulnerable, squishy, that I would then lose my strength. But the craziest thing about this, friends, is the hardest thing I've ever had to do was connect to my emotions, was to express myself, lean into my feelings. That takes strength. That takes more courage, because it's the one thing I've never wanted to do. And I hope that part resonates with you, because that's a thing that I have to constantly just remind myself of, even today. And like I said, I'm only 2 years in this journey. I've done therapy for 2 years. I've began a morning process where I do journal, right? I sit with the music. Those are all the things that I have used as tools to get to this place. But if you look around, friends, there aren't many men talking about emotions. There aren't many men speaking about feelings. I got tired of seeing that that was the normalized thing. And now that I'm in a certain place, I just want to practice opening up in hopes that there's other men out there like this, like me, that struggle with this. And I know we do. I know there are many of you out there. This patriarchy affects all of us. Childhood conditioning, right? Not feeling feelings in your home, not being supported in them. That happens. I know it does. It's very common. But this is a group for men. That's my focus. I can only speak from my experience. And I'm a man. And there's a lot of things that come up for me. Being a man, connecting to my feelings, right? Not connecting to them. There's a lot of things that come up. So that's why this channel is built and structured the way it is. And friends, we are all men. We are. I'm never going to doubt you on any of that. I'm here to just share my story, share my journey in hopes that it resonates with you, and just to help, friends. Because I'm 2 years into this journey. Looking back when I first began, I think I would like to have heard some of these things that I'm saying to you in this video. And that's the purpose, friends. And we are men, but I know because of this journey that I'm on, we're capable of so much more. So much more. The other side of it, that takes more, takes a different level of strength. And as you work on that, you're going to unlock a new strength where now you can hold both sides. You can hold your shit, you can get your stuff done, accomplish your goals, be ambitious, shut down those emotions when you have to, but then also be capable of empathy, understanding, compassion, and in that, also build up a very solid relationship with people in your life. And if nothing else, most importantly, with yourself, because you deserve it. You deserve a healthy relationship with yourself. We all do. But sometimes we do just get in our own way. Anyways, friends, I'll see you guys on the next video.